day. Today we're going to talk about action cameras. It's dark back there. That's better. When you're thinking about action cameras, there's only two companies that really come into mind. GoPro, which is the original, and I would say probably more well-known than the Insta360, which is the other one. Like I said, GoPro has been around for forever, and they've dominated the action camera space, and they make an amazing product. This GoPro is like 10 years old, and it still works and produces an okay image. And then the newer company is the Insta360. This is like a GoPro, but it does a little bit more. Now, the Insta360 is also known for their 360 mods, hence the name Insta360. But if you have this modulation with this specific model of Insta360, it is basically a GoPro. It has the wide angle lens, and it's waterproof to a degree, and when you put it into this housing, they're pretty similar in build quality and just overall appearance. But what one is actually better? Now, comparing this to this would be an unfair advantage because this is 10 years old and this is like 2 or 3 years. This one's much newer. It produces a super steady, rock solid 4K image, and I think this one only produces 1080p. I've taken this thing underwater with me. I've been dropped in the dirt, slid across the asphalt one time, and it's still super solid, and it always works when I need it to. For this guy, I am assuming that it can handle all of that stuff to a degree, but I will say, and I haven't tested this so I could be wrong, the fact that you can take these things apart, I think may make them a little more susceptible to the elements and everything else versus something like this with a waterproof housing or a GoPro Hero 10 that is just all one piece that stays, that is not modular like this. I think the biggest thing and the biggest deciding factor between an Insta360 camera and a GoPro is going to be if you want the extra features that come with this, like the 360 mod and being able to change your lenses out, but while doing that, maybe sacrificing durability, or do you want something that's going to be rock solid and basically be able to it can be run over, blown up, just anything, but in the name of durability, you're giving up or sacrificing flexibility. Before I get this, I actually had the GoPro Hero 10, and it was a great camera. It was super rock solid, produced a comparable image to this guy. The only reason that I switched was because I already had a wide angle lens, this guy, and it seemed kind of redundant for what I do to get a GoPro, and I needed something that could do more like a 360 camera, and this was just the obvious option. So long story long, I think if you're trying to decide between an Insta360 camera or a GoPro, I would look at your personal needs and assess from there, because they're both going to take amazing images. Honestly, if I captured something with this and a GoPro Hero 10, I probably wouldn't even be able to tell, or it'd be very difficult to distinguish what one is what. And when image quality isn't a deciding factor, I think the only thing that is left is how it's used and how the product holds up depending on the situations you put it in. I know this isn't you should buy this camera or this, it's literally just going to depend on you and your specific use case. Go with GoPro or Insta360, they're both great choices and you can't really go wrong. I'll put links down below for both the cameras so you can check them out if you want to. That's for the thumbnail. This is a $7,000 camera setup. What you're looking at here is a Sony a7S III with a 12-24 f2.8 G Master Series lens and a Sony EC-B1M microphone. This is a like $400 or $500 Insta360 camera that it looks pretty good. I think most of this is now the only downside to the Insta360 or like a GoPro or something like that, and GoPro does have a like a module for this, would be the audio. But even then, the module doesn't. Being somebody that is pretty picky with audio, I'm very picky when it comes to microphones and their quality. And the GoPro one is just it's not quite there. And needless to say, the onboard microphone isn't very good either. But the shotgun mic that I'm using on this camera right here sounds pretty good. If I'm being really picky, I'm not thrilled with this microphone, but it's as close to finding a good microphone that I enjoy and I think sounds good for my voice as I can. But I mean, honestly, I recognize that not everybody's going to be as picky as I am, and that's okay. Especially when you're talking about internet videos and stuff for Instagram or YouTube or whatever. The audio from a GoPro or even an iPhone a lot of times sounds good with some processing, like compression and stuff. It's a lot of food. That's not food. Little to-go mason jars. So, all in all, the cameras are pretty good. Savannah's working today, meaning that my partner in crime is she's not here, so I'm having to figure out what to do by myself, which is fine. But if I'm being completely honest, whenever I'm left to my own devices, one of two things happens: I either work all day or I'm outside all day. You could probably guess what one I'm doing. So Savannah and I started this month with basically no income. Like, we didn't have any like jobs or anything else to help pay our bills. And then literally all yesterday we got like 3 or 4 jobs, and it literally pays for all of our bills plus some for this month. And I would be lying. If I told you that never happened. That happens a lot, actually. I don't know what it is or why it happens to us, or if we're alone in this, which I don't think we are. But I'm glad that it happens. I just wish that we would get some more further out. That way, I'm not complaining, but planning would be nice. Also, the trash can that you're sitting on has a slit in it, like for mail. What is that for?